Magic.
Welcome to Food Magic, the program that brings you fun and facts about the food that we know and love. Today we are taking a look at a food product that used to be known or started off as a livestock feed, but now today has become one of the most researched and well-documented grains. If you haven't guessed, yes, it is oats. Not bad considering it used to be thought of as a weed, but now it's deemed a superfood. Oats, you have taken on a new life. Let's get going. Oats are from a member of the grass family, the cereal plant Avena sativa, and it's thought to have been brought over to America by the early Scottish settlers who grew them to feed their cattle. Over time, oats were found to have beneficial qualities for our skin, bodies, and digestive system. From the grains milled and processed, the Scots started to make biscuits and porridge for themselves. Even today, the Scots will serve oatcakes with smoked salmon, cheese, and haggis. Oat grows best in cool weather and filled with much sunlight just like this. But do remember, it cannot survive in temperatures below 5 degrees. Now, the method in which oat grain is processed means that it gets to keep its nutritious bran and germ intact, unlike processed fine white flours. Studies by the European Commission have claimed and proved the benefits of oats in that it contains beta-glucan that lowers or reduces blood cholesterol by up to 23%. Beta-glucan increases the quantity of waste cholesterol-rich bile from the liver, which decreases the cholesterol that can block our blood vessels. This, in turn, reduces the risk of coronary heart disease. Oats also contain micronutrients like thiamine, magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, manganese, selenium, iron, calcium, and vitamin Bs. It fights oxidative stress that can be brought on by an imbalance in our bodies. 1 cup of oats contains 150 calories and more than enough carbohydrates, protein, and fiber to set you up for your morning. So imagine eating 1 bowl of porridge oats could very well curb that mid-morning hunger pang that you get. So I thought I would teach you how to make our very own high-energy breakfast. This is banana overnight oats. These ingredients here are all you really need. I'm going to start by introducing you to my favorite fruit of all, believe it or not, bananas. Cranberries, these are dried cranberries. We've got oats. We're going to use the zest of a lemon, yogurt, some unsweetened milk, and to top it off, a little bit of honey. And since we are all about that Instagram-worthy picture, we're going to use a nice little mason jar with a tight lid and stack up those ingredients. I'm going to start, first of all, with the banana, and we're going to slice this. So not only are we going to get that beautiful yellow color in there, but a good dose of potassium and fiber, and I gotta say, like, banana just goes with everything. Okay, so we're just going to slice some of this. I'm just going to use my hands. There we go. Next, we're going to add in some cranberries. Look at that beautiful color. We're going to start with our oats. So these are rolled oats. Doesn't have to be perfect, but enough that you sort of get your little layering going on. It's kind of like doing a bit of sand art. It's a lot of fun if you have little ones at home as well. And you can make as many of these as you need for the week. I'm all about meal prep, and this is definitely one of the easiest ways to prep your breakfast. And I'm just gonna go ahead and stack the rest of my bananas in. Push that down gently. Now this is really, really simple. All we're gonna do is we're gonna combine the ingredients. So this is the yogurt. We're going to take a little bit of the lemon zest. So we're just gonna add a little bit of lemon zest. It's just for that aroma, that flavor. Immediately, it just comes to life. So now that we have our lemon zest in here as well, you could use Greek yogurt if you prefer. And finally, last but not least, let's just add a tiny bit of honey, just for that little bit of sweetness. And give it a nice, good mix. And I think we are good to go. Now for the final touch, and this is so satisfying. We're just going to pour this in and watch. Take your time because it does end up sort of building up at the top, so you want to give it time to sink in and really soak in to the oats. And that's it, it's all done. Now all you need to do is put a lid on it and wait. And if you really can't wait overnight, at least give it 4 to 5 hours for it to really fuse in and soften the ingredients. Now remember, all you really need are the first 4 ingredients. Other than that, it's entirely up to you, whatever fruits you like. And it's also really nice when you serve it with fresh mangoes, bananas, whatever you like the next morning. So don't go anywhere, we've got more oats coming at you after the break. Welcome back to our Foodtastic program. We've learned about how oats arrived in America, we've learned about its minerals and benefits, and even the types of illnesses that it's able to alleviate. Plus, we've also given you some pretty cool alternative breakfast oat recipes. I say it's now time to find out how people living here in Malaysia incorporate oats into their healthy lifestyles.
One particular person in Penang, a Mr. Chu Chu Han, had this idea that oats should be introduced into our food chain and decided to supply a range of food utilizing oats way back in 1960. At their manufacturing and processing factory in Mak Mandin, Pulau Pinang, the raw oats are cleaned and dehulled. It is then put through a process that deactivates the enzyme of the kernel to prevent rancidity. The oats are afterwards sized, cut, rolled, and flaked to be packaged for public consumption. We went to visit the plant and facilities now headed by the 3rd generation of the Chu family, Executive Director Mr. Michael Chu of our own Malaysian oat brand, Captain Oats.
The process of milling oats is relatively simple. First, we purchase the oats from our sources in Australia. We ship the grain into our plant in Penang here, and then we will put it through a process of cleaning, dehulling, kilning, steaming, cutting the grain, flaking it, and then packing it to be delivered to all the supermarkets worldwide. The most important aspect of it is the kilning process, where we deactivate the enzymatic activities and also to give the oats the color and the taste and the aroma that it needs. It was reported by the World Health Organization in 2014 that the #1 killer in Malaysia is actually coronary diseases, and that includes your heart diseases and your other coronary problems. So that trend has not reduced, and it is growing every year. So where does oats come in? Oats comes in because oats is packed with a lot of nutrients, especially beta-glucan. So beta-glucan is good because it helps to reduce the bad cholesterol in our bodies. An average adult just needs 3 grams of beta-glucan every day. And to get 3 grams of beta-glucan, you just need 2 servings of oats, which is less than 1 ringgit per day. Most people don't eat oats. Most people eat oats when the doctor tells them to. So we are introducing new ways to the younger generation on how to eat oats. You can mix it in your favorite smoothie. You can add it to your favorite cookie recipe. You can mix it up with different berries and nuts and fruits. Or you can even be more adventurous and replace your daily intake of rice with oats. It's our hope that Malaysians will find oats to be part of their daily diet the next time they are at the supermarket, and will continue to support their local brands.
Hi, I'm Lekha from Fresco Grano, and together with Anis here, we'll be making banana granola today. We'll start off with some oats, which is arguably one of the healthiest whole grains in the world today because it's so nutrient dense. It's got a very important component called beta-glucan, which aids to lower cholesterol levels, and it also helps in gut health. Next, we have an oat flour that's going to bind our granola together. Next, we have organic cane sugar, which is going to sweeten our granola. Now we have banana, which is very high in potassium and iron, and it also naturally sweetens our granola. So Anis is going to use her hands to get in there and really mix everything together so that all the ingredients are mixed evenly. Using your hands really helps because it helps bind everything nicely, as you can see. Next, we have pecans that are high in antioxidants, and it helps slow down the aging process and also adds a nice crunch to our granola. We're going to mix that up a little more so that it all goes in evenly. And last but not least, we have some cooking oil that again binds everything together and also helps keep everything nice and crisp when it goes into the oven. Most important aspect of making granola, as you can see here, as I've repeated it a few times, is that mixing evenly is very, very important so that everything bakes evenly in the oven, so we're not left with a bitter aftertaste if anything gets burned. So now we have a prepared pan here. Put it onto the prepared pan, and she's going to flatten everything out so it all cooks evenly. It goes into the oven as one big piece, and we'll put it in there at 180 degrees for 20 minutes, and then we'll take it out, flip it over, and it goes in for another further 10 minutes. And when it comes out, we'll break it into clusters. And now it's ready to go into the oven. Here we have our finished granola that has been broken up into pieces, and today I'll be sharing with you a recipe for chia seed pudding. So we're starting off with some chia seeds, which was very popular in the Aztec and Mayan tribes way back, but only recently have become recognized as a superfood. These are really, really good, especially for vegans and vegetarians, because they are a good source of plant-based proteins and omega-3 fatty acids. So we start by just soaking them in milk overnight. If you're vegan and you can't use dairy milk, no problem. You can use any other milk alternative. It will work just as well. And this is how it looks the next morning. So it forms a nice pudding-like texture for you to just top with your favorite toppings. So we'll start now with some yellow kiwi. Just place it however you like. Here. Breakfast that looks nice always makes you get up early in the morning. Some granola in the middle. Some juicy plums for some color. Then we top off with some green pistachios. There you have it. A beautiful, healthy breakfast that requires next to zero skill, but really, really good for you.
I bet you didn't know. Quaker Oats was the first registered cereal breakfast brand in the world. It was registered in 1877 in Ohio, the United States. And I'm sure just like many of you out there too, I also had porridge oats in the form of Quaker Oats for breakfast. My mom would prepare it in hot milk covered in brown sugar and cinnamon, and she would always tell me this is what's going to get me through the day with an energy boost. And boy, oh boy, was she right. Besides oats porridge, there are equally delicious ways to incorporate oats into your diet. Right here, we are going to make masala oats. I know, it sounds really exciting. What do you need? Well, oats, coriander, onion, green chili, red tomatoes, turmeric, cumin, and of course, coriander powder. That's it. Very easy. So let's turn the stove on and get cracking. Right, so we're gonna add in a little bit of sunflower oil first. And then we're going to start with our cumin seeds. So, now we're just gonna let the cumin seeds hang out for a bit, let them change color, let the aroma release from the seeds, and then our chopped green chilies. They are just going to be best friends, I can already tell. All right, so now we're going to add in my tomatoes. A little bit of antioxidants. And don't forget your seasonings. So make sure you grab a little bit of salt. Mix that up. Just gonna turn the flame down just ever so slightly. And you can leave that for about 3 to 4 minutes. All right, so now I think we are ready to add in the powdered spices. What I have here is I've got some chili powder. I'm gonna add about a teaspoon of chili powder. In fact, I'm just going to estimate that's probably about a teaspoon right there. Just gonna add this vibrant red. And then we're gonna add 1/4 of a teaspoon of turmeric. Right there. And finally, we're gonna add all the coriander powder, which is about a teaspoon as well. Give it a nice little mix. Now that we've given it a good mix, don't wait too long. We want to add in our star ingredient. Let's add in the oats first. Just remember, this is about 4 cups of water right here. So give it a nice mix. All bind together. All you need to do is be a little bit patient. So I'm gonna leave this for about 5 minutes until the oats are cooked and come back. All right, it looks like it's really nicely cooked. Now for the final touches, all we need to do is add in some chopped coriander and give it a nice little mix once again. And let's turn off the flame. And we are good to serve. 1 masala oats coming right up. This smells divine. This is food from the heavens. If you have that stubborn family member who just refuses to eat oats, no matter how good oats really is for you, this is probably a very good way to get them to change their mind. So, I'm going to add in some chopped carrots, some little baby tomatoes, and now for the grand finale, I'm going to just pull off a little bit of coriander and just add it for some garnishing. There you have it. I mean, who could possibly say no to this? It's a chock-a-block filled with heavenly spices and cholesterol-busting oat bran. Now that I've shown you a whole host of reasons as to why you should love oats, besides the fact that it protects against heart disease, it also has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties as well. Really, the list just goes on and on and on. But unfortunately, that is all the time that we have here today. However, I am going to leave you with something special that I heard from this famous actor. When he was asked how he helps out around the house, he answered by saying, well, you know, I make breakfast for the kids, sometimes a little bit of a soft-boiled egg, and sometimes oatmeal. That's right. And who said this? It was none other than Pierce Brosnan, who I'm sure many of you will remember from James Bond. And if oats are good enough for James Bond, it's definitely good enough for me. That's it from me, Nadia Heng. Until the next time, I'll see you on Food Magic.
For recipe details, check out our Instagram.